Okay, so with Meta lowering the requirement for people to get into the Meta horizon, as it were, and all this stuff going on with people getting into VR for the first time and the holidays, I decided I would do a recommendation for a VR game that you can get in 2024, 2025, beyond even possibly. I might recommend some more in the future, but for now, this is it. And it's a little over 2 years old, okay? It's called Cosmosis High. You're actually seeing gameplay of it on screen right now. I actually did a bunch of gameplay videos on it on my other channel. Feel free to check that out. Link in the description below. But the reason why I recommend this game, because first of all, its art style and no real violence or language or anything like that. Actually, no real violence at all. It makes it the perfect family friendly game. Yes, it makes it the perfect family friendly game. The game that you can have showing while you're playing and whatnot. I played it on the MetaQuest 3. What you're seeing is gameplay of it from the MetaQuest 3. But I believe there's also a PC version and even a PSVR version if you rather do that. So that is a possibility there. But like I said, I played it on the MetaQuest 3 personally. And yeah, I just recommend it because what it does is it literally lets you go through different abilities, different powers. It lets you move around, reach out, and touch different things. It kind of shows the actual capabilities of what VR can do, in my opinion. It was one of the first games I actually played for VR when I first got my headset. So it actually served as kind of a showing the ropes, if you will, type thing. Now, I will, however, say that you definitely should make sure to watch where you're going. Okay. Like, have a good space in real life. Have a good space because if you aren't careful, you could end up reaching out and touching something in real life that you have near the same area. So what I would do is make sure you have a seemingly open space, but if you don't have too much of an open space, it technically does have you covered, okay? Because of the simple fact that it had this brilliant thing where you can actually use the thumbsticks on either controller, left or right VR controller, to move closer to the object. So you don't have to like physically walk there or physically move around. You can even move left to right and turn fully around in the game without even moving your real life self for stuff like that. So it's actually pretty convenient in that way. That being said, I found myself turning around more often than not. I mean, sometimes sometimes it's funny what would happen. I would go forward and stuff, and then like when I finished my game session, I would look around the room and I would literally like opposite of where I started because I got all turned around. Actually, it's the reason why I had to end up buying my Rode wireless mic, which I've done videos on. Feel free to check them out. I've done videos on the channel. But you see, as a content creator, when I first got my VR headset, I was like, oh, I can just make videos, no problem. Yeah, am using OBS as I do. I'm always going to be facing the mic and everything. I found out very, very quickly that that is not always the case. Okay, you can get turned around in VR pretty easily if you're not paying attention. Now, with that said, I haven't actually tried to play Cosmosis High laying down. That might be interesting to try because Cosmosis High came out way before the meta, even potentially before they had the idea even to add a whole lay down mode to the meta quest. Which I'm glad they added. It really helps a lot in so many cases. Yeah, it really helps a lot, especially, if you're restricted on space or movement. It's really good. It's it's a really good feature. But back to Cosmosis I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's one of the things that I say for, I would say, most people, if not all people. I don't know many people that would have a problem with it. It does have kind of a cartoony type art style. So if you're like buying it for a teenager, their first thought might be, I don't want this, it's a kid game type thing. But the more, if they actually give it a chance, I honestly think they would enjoy it. I mean, I'm a full grown up and I enjoyed it. I'll admit, going into it, I was like, oh, okay, so this is basically just like a kid after school special type game. But I had a lot of fun. I had fun switching between the powers and abilities that you have. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And would I play it for the first time again if I got to choose a game for the first time? That's really hard to answer, but yes, yes, I would. And I actually just went on to the MetaQuest 3 store, and people people are actually like the new reviews and comments on it. So I really enjoy it. A lot of people are saying they want an expansion as well. So yeah, this is this is good. I'm glad that people enjoy it. Like I said, it was one of the first games I played, and it's a game I recommend even to this day. Like I said, it is technically a little over 2 years old, but technically the first time I played it was in 2024. So yeah, it, it's very good. I think, like I said, it was available in the MetaQuest 2 era, and if you have a 2, you can still buy it for the 2, I believe. But the 3, the pancake lenses, and it just brilliant. If any of the devs are watching, which I seriously doubt the devs of this game would watch my channel at all. But if any of them are watching, brilliant game, A plus. I enjoyed it so much. It's very well done too. It gives you like this full immersive thing. It doesn't take you out of the immersion at all. Actually, the only real danger I see from this game is you're like, oh, let me go into it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you end up spending like 45 minutes to an hour plus on the game. Before you know it, your headset is yelling at you that it's about to die and you need to plug in. Because, like I said, this is natively available on the Quest, which means you don't have to be wired into the matrix or your PC, as it were. You can just boot it up on the Quest, play it, have a blast, and then one of your family members, oh, what are you playing? And then they're like, hey, look, VR, brilliant, try this. You hand them the controller, you give them the VR headset to put on. They're like, oh, this is nice. And then, like an hour later, you're saying, give me back my headset. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you do decide to check this game out, like I said, very fun. I recommend it full-heartedly. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.